Yeah, I cracked the code you wouldn't even understand. Have you ever seen a Hebrew Israelite beside an indigenous American man? You can see it. You can see it. Have you ever seen a Hebrew Israelite? See, every time I talk to people, they be like, oh, the United States a melting pot. Like, people think that all Americans got white people blood in them. They don't. They're actually European black people that are light skinned, that were never Nubian, never mahogany, and never pecan tan. And they're black people. They're not, but I cracked the code, man. All these men with these full, strong beards that grow, those are Hebrew Israelite men. They're like a lost tribe that came over here. And then if you actually see indigenous Indians, I'm talking about the Nubian ones, that you would mistake, oh, that's just a black nigga from the hood. Or you would think because he's so dark skinned, he from Africa. But you could tell by his phenotype and his nose and his face, he ain't from Africa. And then you can see the pecan tan ones too. And I be like, I see it. I see it. You could tell the Hebrew Israelite with the full beard, the hairy body. He looked like he come from somewhere else. But he's the standard American features. And then you could tell they the lost tribe that's blending in with the oppressed indigenous black men from this continent. You can see it. I see it every time I go out because I'm a people watcher. And I've seen it clear as day. I've seen the Indian man. I mean the indigenous American Indian man. And I've seen the Hebrew Israelite that came over here to blend in. Oh yeah. They both coexist together. They both coexist together. And you can see it within the women too. You can see the Hebrew Israelite woman that's over here that's actually commingling, like they're more attracted to the indigenous American man. And you can see the indigenous American woman, she a little finicky. She attracted to the indigenous American man, and she attracted to the Hebrew Israelite man. But they're different. They're actually two lost tribes that you can't, it's multiple tribes within the bigger tribe. But I don't know if spirit, God, or whatever, spirit helped me to see the lost tribes. I don't know why my spirit just said the lost tribes of Judah. Let me get my phone. Hold on. Like I could pick them out. I could see them. I could pick them out. I could see them. Hold on. Let me see who the lost tribe of Judah is. I don't know. Because then Spirit just said Gab. Like, who? Gab. Let me see. Oh, man. This phone's slow. Like, where I'm at, there's no phone service. And There's no phone service. And I like it like that because then you ain't got to worry about all those radio wave frequencies. Okay, the term lost tribes of Israel generally refers to the 10 tribes of the ancient northern kingdom of Israel who were exiled by the Assyrian Empire around 720 BCE, so that's before Christ, and subsequently disappeared from the historical records. The tribes of Judah and Benjamin, who formed the southern kingdom, were not exiled at this time and are considered to have retained their identity, while some theories suggest the lost tribes assimilated into other population. There is no definitive proof of their continued existence as distinct groups. Well, anyway, I saw it. I said, wow, they both here. They're both here. And they have no clue. They have no clue that they coexist together. Like the father or the mother or whoever you believe in that's protecting them have not showed them the truth. They just coexisting. I can't make this shit up. Spirit allowed me to see it. Spirit allowed me to see it. I got a chance to see it. They coexist together. And you can tell, listen, you can tell an indigenous, you can tell a real indigenous Black American because he has that, I don't know why I want to say forsaken, but it's not forsaken. He has a voice or structure that is identified within his spirit. You can hear it. It sounds ancient, like how they tried to portray Indians in the movies. It sounds just like that. But they can't help it. They got the can't help it. It's in them. The spirit in them. And they don't even know it. Like, they just know they hear. They don't know why they hear. Like, they got the same voice. This ain't my first time hearing it. And every time I hear it, I just stare and say, they have no clue who, like, after seeing all the TV shows, being in the South or the North, it don't matter where they at, they got that same spirit coming through them that sounds like those fake Indians that they put on the black and white movies. Like, I don't care if they got a northern accent, if they have a northern accent, if they have a southern accent. It's that same spirit. It's very identifiable. It's very distinct. And it's not patois. It's a spirit that's distinct from other spirits. And it's in them. They sound like an ancient that's probably what made my spirit disturbed tonight. I wasn't disturbed. It just, I never thought I would see them cohabitate like that. You see the indigenous American actually with the Hebrew Israelites, the lost tribes. And they don't even know it. And I'm like, man, I got to go back to school for psychology. I got to. because I can see the spirit. I can see it. And spirit was letting me know spirit was letting me know spirit was letting me know that you was sitting with the lost tribes. The lost tribes. And I'm like, oh man. Yeah. Right. And I know it because my stepfather the same way. He got a strong voice that comes from inside his body that's different than most people. Like where most people talk, he don't talk there. It come deep down from his soul. And you want to say a slave voice, but it's not a slave voice. It's a specific DNA. It's a certain way that diaphragm and stuff built that's different than most men. Like it's closed up now. But if it's open, you can hear it. The spirit can actually speak through it differently than the average man. It's a part of that man that's open, that's different. And my stepfather was the same way. And they try to brainwash them and say, because they dark skinned, they came from Africa. Yep. But it's a lost tribe. It's several of them. I don't know what it is about Gab. Wait a minute. Let me see what spirit keeps saying. Gab. Hold on. Lost tribe of Gad. Gad. Let me see. The tribe of Gad was one of the 12 tribes of Israel, named after Jacob's 7th son. Gad, they settled east on the Jordan River, were known as skilled warriors after the Assyrian conquest around 721 BC. The tribe, along with other northern Israelite tribes, was exiled, becoming known as one of the lost tribes, as their history was no longer recorded. Boy, well, now I want you to know something. They quick to say they didn't record their history no more, right? I don't know why when I see this Jordan River, something about them keep saying the Jordan River. I don't think about the Jordan River in the east. It's something about Michael Jordan being the archetype for the lost tribe. It's something about Michael Jordan being the archetype for the lost tribe. So while he's famous and known, he's like the archetype for the lost tribe. Like they was letting the world know actually what the Jordan River was. The Jordan River is in America. You don't think that's weird? Let me see. Did they say they went east of the Jordan River? Hold on. Yeah, they settled east of the Jordan River. And were known. I don't give a fuck what they say they were settled. For them to make the most famous man in America, Michael Jordan, right? Michael Jordan and Michael Jackson, the most famous men in America. Think about it. They made Michael Jordan and Michael Jackson the most famous men in America. And when you look at it, look at the two phenotypes. I ain't talking about the new Michael Jackson. I'm talking about the Michael Jackson before all the bullshit. Look at the phenotypes. Look how dark Michael Jordan was. And not once did they try to portray him as being African. And look at Michael Jackson. They showing you, but then you got those lost tribes that got the full beards. They're more hairier than the you could tell they come from the northern part of Africa. Like West Asia. I know what I saw. You don't see it too often. You probably see it on the basketball court, but you don't see it too often. You don't see it too often. And it will freak you out. It will freak you out. Indigenous Indians are still here. And the lost tribes are still here. The indigenous Indians are a lost tribe. But I'm talking about, you know, when they be like, oh, that Hotep talk, that Hotep nigga shit. Oh, no. These lost tribes over here. These lost tribes are over here. I see it all the time. And then I notice a lot of people like hanging with their blood type, their frequency blood type. Because I know this one lady that's AB blood. She swear by her African heritage. And then when she told me her blood type was AB, I understood. Like, she brown like me, but she got it's an off-putting color with it though. She got like one of those tribal, like them brown skin, light brown skin tribal colors of Africa. You know how they try to make it seem like all Africans dark skin? They got some tribes that sit out in that sun just like that dark person that never get dark. They got some tribes that sit out there in that sun all day, and they melanin never come to the surface and protect them like that. So it was just interesting. I would always look at her, and she always seemed to be conflicting. And when she told me her blood type was AB, I seen the fight within her. I seen it. Because I had already seen the fight within her. But once she let me know her blood type was AB, I knew then that it was a lot going on within her. She drink a lot too. She drink a lot. And I don't mean like socially. She drink by herself. She drink by herself. Like, she'll take a, and function too. She function. But yep. And then she tried to introduce me to her son. Her son work at NASA. And I think we about the same age. Me and her son. Her son work at NASA. But I don't know what it was. Like, why wouldn't I want to talk to somebody that work at NASA, right? But I don't know what it was. I wasn't interested. And I think it was her spirit. It was her spirit because I knew she was housing more than one identity. It get deep. It get deep. You can see it. You can see it. You can see it. And I have no regret saying that there's indigenous fuck niggas all across the globe. Not just America. They all over. They all over. And you know, talking with your pussy get you brownie points. And I don't communicate with my pussy. I do not communicate with my pussy. I lead with my head. I lead with my head. And I realize a lot of women lead with their pussy. It's not like it's a man know when a woman talk with her pussy and when a woman talking with her head, her authority. Some women authority is their pussy. And some women authority is their head. I remember this guy told me, I'm going to send my brother a picture of you with your glasses off. I said, with my glasses off? He said, yeah, because I don't want my brother to think you a bookworm. You don't want your brother to think I'm a bookworm. Nigga, I would wear my glasses to see. What are you talking about? I wear my glasses to see. And he said he didn't want his brother to think I was a bookworm. Well, what you want him to see? What you want him to see me? Okay, I don't mind. I take pictures with my glasses off all the time. But you're saying because I wear glasses, there's going to be a specific type of energy. I didn't understand. I don't know why Spirit keeps saying Gad. Something about the lost tribe of Gad and the lost tribe of Judah. Now, I know a lot of men that know these things. But yeah, Gad is one of the 12 tribes of Israel. After the Exodus from Egypt, I don't think they talking about I don't think they talking about over there in Africa. I think they talking about right here. I think they talking about right here in the United States. The testing site, the concentration camp. The United States, the concentration camp. Yo, if y'all were to saw, I said would have saw, if y'all would have seen what I saw, if you would have seen what I saw, you would have been like, damn. Yeah, you can see the lost tribes. I've been seeing them a lot. You see it when they get mature. When they get like 35, when they get like 35 to about 45, you can see it. You can see it. But when I heard the spirit come out of that person's body, and they had no clue that they was indigenous Indian. They ain't got no clue. They had that same deep spoken Choctaw Hollywood movie voice, and they didn't even know it. They just thought that shit was normal. Like they didn't sound like they was from the South. They didn't sound like they was from the North. It sounded like a specific spirit that came out of them that was distinctive from any spirit I've heard. And I seen it in California too. I seen it in California. It was a guy trying to sell me oil, but he didn't understand I had all the oil in the world. And I was on Venice Beach. And I said, what's up with all these fruity flavors? And I kept telling him, dang, I ain't seen an Indian like you in a long time. He had that way. He looked it just like, what's that singer name? I forget his name. Meet me on the south side. What is his name? That song, Lloyd. Man, he looked just like Lloyd, but he was darker. Way darker. Had that curly, silky hair. And he was way darker. And just because I say curly, silky hair, no, it's some with the nappy hair, too. They got the nappy, kinky, 4C hair, too. But this one, and he had that parakeet nose, like he come from the Yucatan or something. He had a parrot-looking nose. And I said, man, how you still walk around? He was like, what you talking about? I said, man, your Indian phenotype, you can't hide it. You can't hide it. And he had all them oils, like, oh, this type. No. I just want Egyptian musk and, traditional shit. I wear Nog Chopper, Egyptian musk. I just wear simple, ancient scents. I ain't into all that new shit. Just give me the old school scents. And, and he was shocked. He was shocked. It's like I need to get a camera and just do culture shots of the phenotypes that I be running across. Yeah. Georgia the same way. It'd be the dark-skinned man with the parakeet nose. The nose shaped like a parrot. And they got that strong, thin, silky hair. I call it thin because it ain't coarse. It's thin. Like they could just put gel on it and brush it. And it got all them curls in it. And yeah, I could find an Indian picture that looked like that guy. Exactly. They're exactly alike. Like you could just do Google pictures of melanated dark-skinned Indians. But all be said, I'm over it. There's about to be a new type of man. And you have to get on the bandwagon with these new type of men that's about to be created. Yep. the black woman oppression is about to create a new type of man. And it's going to be a little different, okay? It's going to be a little different. It's going to create a new type of leader. Because the last leaders got fucked off. You know, the black woman created the last leaders, and they got fucked off. They got picked off one by one. It's about to be a new type of leader. Yep. They might not even come out. The soul matrix might be fucked up. The soul matrix where they sit and wait to be born again, it might be messed up. Just like I think my grandmother's supposed to come back, but I never had children. So she would have to align. She would have to align with my brother or somebody to come back. I think she got to come back. I ain't lying. I think my grandmother got to come back. I think she like a 4 or a 5. She got to come back. But y'all believe it there. I have no regrets in saying that fuck niggers. I said niggers. Oh shit. Fuck niggas are global. Indigenous fuck niggas are global because it's true. They have no clue. These lost tribes have no clue. And I'm not talking about the ones that want to preach the Bible and talk about how God favored them. Some of them, you know, they still got that man lead vibe. Man been leading how long? How long has man been leading? How long has man been leading? Man been leading a long time. And we have not got any results. And let me ask you something. Everybody on the planet that wants something, they take it. They take it. They outsmart you, they outwit you, and they create rules and regulations so you cannot get on top. Nothing about the tactics used to conquer this reality was fair. So I'm trying to think, like, is somebody waiting on God to come make things fair? God gave you hands, eyes, feet, a brain, a heart, a gut. To do what you got to do to survive. Yep. But Bible Hymn said it might be their protection. He did say that. He said, hold on. He said the indigenous people not knowing who they are might be their protection. But it's about to get bad. I would say smartphones being out 5 more years is gonna cause a lot of confusion. Yeah. Because your DNA, they got it so that AI will start operating through your biosphere. It's about to get bad. It's about to get bad. And see, I know this. See how my phone just started making noises? That's a truth right there. AI is about to start working through people's biosphere. And they're going to slowly start losing their identity. And I think that's what made me so frustrated when I said indigenous fuck niggas. That's a global thing. That's not just American. Like when them nanoparticles, see them nanoparticles done assimilated in a lot of people. And then AI is now in the air. AI is in the air. And it's traveling through these particles. And then these particles are embedded in our body. So now the AI the artificial intelligence, I gotta say it that way because just saying AI don't seem right. The artificial intelligence is able to leech, piggyback, and bounce in and out of people's aura and frequency. So if you haven't identified yourself by now, within 5 years from now, you're going to be fucked. Remember, I would say about 10 years ago, everybody was trying to use herbs to remove heavy metals from their body. You don't hear people talking about using herbs to remove heavy metals from their body no more. How often do you hear it? How often do you hear a person talk about using herbs to remove heavy metals from their body? You barely hear it. So, and see, I don't like saying smart devices and smartphones. They've always had this technology. They've always had the frequency. They just had to build devices to record the frequency or to communicate with the frequency. So what they wanted to do was simultaneously record the data of the human and all living beings and have a way to overwrite the DNA too. That's why they kept saying 100% of DNA is readable, but not all DNA is rewritable. That's why you have certain people DNA where it looks like something else controlling them other than their spirit is foreign to you. You don't understand it. And then you have some people that look like they moving around with their own spirit. And then you got the others that look like they're automaton. And people talk about MCPs. That shit about to get 10 times worse in the next 5 years. Fuck 10 years. Fuck 30 years. In the next 5 years, the MCP is about to get worse. I know I'm on a lot of subjects, but maybe this will help somebody see. There's some ancient DNA in the United States, and I don't even think people realize it. And I don't think people understand that these nanoparticles and artificial intelligence living in the air. That's why I kept saying, why it seems like I keep interfering with the same spirit all day, especially through white people. Like I could go to a store and it'll be something I discussed on the phone. It could be specific colors, specific numbers. And then when I go to that store, it seemed like Agent Smith done jumped in this person to finish the conversation that I had with this person at the last store. I ain't lying. Like, this artificial intelligence is jumping from body to body to keep tabs. Now, I don't know if the person body they jumped in have recollection of the conversation or not. And then I'll tell you another thing I see. This specifically white people. I've seen black people do it, but it happens quicker in white people. You could be talking to a white person, laughing, kicking the bobo. Then all of a sudden, a switch will turn on, a new energy will turn on. And it seemed like they're having this disturbing conversation in their mind. And that person to go from laughing and joking to being compromised by the frequency. And then they turn into Intel, Agent Smith, a Agent Smith type prototype. Like, they go from laughing and kicking the bobo to becoming real serious and like real fast. And I snapped my hand because that's how fast it happened. And it's like, damn, that motherfucker just turned off and became somebody else that fast. Like, they turn into Surveillance and Agent Smith that fast. And I see it all the time. It got to the point where Spirit said, quit being so honest with people. Like, you know how you could be somewhere, I'll give you an example, like a bar. I could be at a hotel at a bar, and a white guy walk up and say, is the seat taken? And I'll say no. And they ask a series of questions. The first question is, how you doing? You like your meal? Where you from? What you doing up here? It'd be the same questions. And Spirit starts saying, well, quit being so honest. And you know how people say it's easier not to lie. Then you ain't got to keep up with your story. But I started noticing that I'm repeating the same questions over and over and over. I'm answering the same questions over and over and over. Especially like when I was in Walmart and that guy walked up to me and said, out the blue, yeah, I think the color purple suits you. I didn't have no color purple on or nothing. I wasn't even looking at no clothes with the color purple. I was actually standing between the jewelry aisle and something else. Like, you know where they have the locked up jewelry in the cases? I was standing between the jewelry aisle and something else. And a white guy came up to me and said, yeah, I think the color purple suits you. I like the color purple too. And I said, what the fuck? I was just having that conversation with somebody on the phone. So this new technology is a nanoparticle that's embedded in your body, embedded in the air. This this artificial intelligence can move from body to body, because you're wondering like, damn, I know that spirit, I know that MO. Like, why? I just talked to the other person, they had the same MO and the same spirit. Now I'm talking to it again and again, and it jumping to white women too. They'll go from kiki to laughing to being serious out of nowhere. Like there was an energy or a switch that turned on and turned off. The only thing I do not understand is if they realize that something turned on and off in them. So when I was wondering what they were doing, it's a high level technology. It's a high level surveillance. So you don't have to have a car, a cell phone. You don't have to be chipped. You're already chipped with all the nanoparticles. You don't have to be chipped. You don't have to have a cell phone. You don't have to have no type of tracking device on you. Your body is already a tracking device in the matrix. That's why they put the artificial intelligence in the air with all the nanoparticles. So when they put the artificial intelligence in the air with all the nanoparticles, this AI police or this Agent Smith AI can locate you and communicate with you by hopping in many people's auras. And if they're heavily embedded with nanoparticles, the AI can actually overtake their vessel, and the person will succumb to that artificial intelligence. And they will just all of a sudden turn more serious, more intrusive. What I mean more intrusive, it's like they're trying to pick your mind. They're trying to pick your brain. They're trying to see are you gonna always be honest? Do you ever lie? That's why spirit told me to start lying, withhold information, or don't speak at all. Spirit told me start lying, withhold information, or don't speak at all. And then you'll start seeing the other side of them. Because they're expecting you to tell the truth. They already know what you're about to say. They've done it over and over and over. I don't care if I'm in California. I don't care if I'm in Washington. I don't care if I'm in Maine. I don't care if I'm in Florida. I don't care if I'm in Georgia. They specifically choose a certain breed of people. I'm going to give you another example. The little children and the grown-ups. Okay, we driving down the road. It's several trucks. But they go out of their way to ask me to honk my horn. It's plenty more trucks. They're letting you know you can't run, you can't hide. They're using the technology and you don't even know it. But see, that's why I say these indigenous people are lost. They don't see it. Gang stalking is not exactly what you think it is. It's artificial intelligence hopping from body to body to keep up with you. They able to use the cell phone towers, the nanoparticles in the air. They're able to piggyback off everybody's aura. And they succumb the person. They overtake the person's body. And they start interacting through you. See, they throwing you off with the robots. But you're already the robot. The nanoparticles are already assimilated in your body. When I was saying, damn, every city I go to, a helicopter meet me at the state line, right? So I could be going into Ohio, helicopter just coming straight towards me. It ain't like it's just flying over the air on a mission. It's coming straight toward me. Soon as I get in Palm Springs, California, every time I'm there, helicopter meet me straight head on. Why would somebody in California care to track me, a person coming from Georgia, that's not trafficking, ain't got no drugs? You know, like, why would you do that? Why would you meet me in Palm Springs, California every time I come to California? You got to, if you spiritually in tune with yourself, you know when something just took over somebody's vessel. Like, they ain't drunk or nothing. The only thing I don't know is if the people are aware of it. Are they aware that they're not in control anymore? So it got to the point now when the parents slow down so that the child could tell me to honk my horn, I don't do it no more. I don't do it no more. Because it's specific. It's specific. It's like they keep doing it to let the person know, oh, you could run but you can't hide. I could jump in anybody. I could jump in anybody. You know, a long time ago I said they didn't have many weapons. They didn't have many weapons, so how were they able to conquer all the indigenous people? And they didn't just use the Bible either. They had this artificial intelligence out back then. They had it out back then, because I'm like, how the hell somebody indigenous to the area get overtaken by people that are not indigenous to the area? Because they're a whole different species. They're a whole different type of alien in a human body. So now they're not just an alien in a human body. Now they got artificial intelligence on a whole nother level. You don't see no other species killing off their own people the way these people did. That's an alien hybrid. That's a hybrid. And now that they got technology, it's about to get 10 times worse. When them people be talking about, oh, they stalking me, they stalking me, they don't understand what they doing. I feel sorry that people don't see it. It took me a while to get it. Almost an hour. It took me a while to understand it. But they actually using the Agent Smith on us. That's how they learn how to get close to you. That's how they learn how to keep up with you. And you know it because 5 people could walk in a store and the clerk don't say nothing to the 5 people that walk in the store. Then you walk in the store and they say, welcome to so-and-so. And you say, oh, okay, thank you. But they never said nothing to the other 5 people that walked in the store. You gotta start paying attention. You gotta start paying attention. I'm gonna leave it there. Hopefully I could get this video uploaded today. But yeah, that shit is deep. And it took me a while to understand it. And don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. That's why I said I would never have kids. Because you don't know what type of world we're in to have kids. So not only that, you got to worry about yourself. And they like when I say that I'll never have kids because they don't want me creating another motherfucker like me. With my genetics. And it's weird. I think one time it jumped in my grandma. She turned on and off it with a switch. Like, I see white people broke down side the road all the time, right? And you don't see, like, white men pulling over. You don't see white men pulling over to, like, rescue them, get them off the road, help them fix their tire, right? Especially white women. I'll see a white woman on the side of the road waiting on help. Nobody stopped to help her. And I think that's odd. I remember one time I was driving this old Mercedes I used to drive. And the tires were dry rotting, so I needed to switch all the tires. Now, them tires that go on that Mercedes were more expensive than the average tire. Like, you could get the cheapest version. The cheapest version was like $250 a piece. So I only could change like 2 tires a month. Like, you couldn't even find, you would barely see those tires at a used tire shop, right? And like the cheapest ones I could get was probably like $250, $287 a piece. They were a different width. They were wider than the average Mercedes tire today. And a piece of the rubber shot off. And I heard it. So I thought I had a flat tire. Before I could pull over good enough and get out to go look at the tire, a white man had pulled over and said, meet me down the street at Walmart. I'm going to change this tire for you. I swear to God. I thought the way he did that shit that fast to keep, see, they have to keep you on a timeline. They got to keep you on a specific timeline. They do not want you to jump timelines. Now, this is the weird thing. He went straight to the tire and found out where the rubber was missing. Like, he didn't even need... He seemed like an expert in it. He didn't even need... He went straight to the tire, touched it, pointed down there. I got down there and seen where the rubber was missing. He met me up at Walmart. He changed my tire. And it was like I didn't even have to tell him where I was going. He said, it's a bad storm up there going into Georgia. I'm like, but see, I did have Georgia plates, so that could have been it too. But no, it wasn't like that. They let you know about yourself without you even knowing. And I said, oh yeah? Like he must have seen the Georgia plates, but so I guess he assumed I was going back to Georgia from Florida. People do that. They take their raggedy car down to Florida and hope it go down there and hope it make it back. And damn, I think that was the week I wanted to go to Atlanta. So I went to Georgia and dropped that car off to get a rental car to go to Atlanta. And then I ended up meeting up with some friends and I never went to Atlanta. Yeah, it was weird. But he was like, be careful about the storm. So mind you now, I probably wasn't in Georgia. I probably didn't ever go back to Georgia for 5 years. The time warp I had to get through. I had to go through a bubble to get into Georgia. It was the weirdest storm ever. It was gray. It was gloomy with a red twilight. And it was only mist and fog. There was no rain. There was no lightning. And I mean, by me not being in Georgia so long in that area, it seemed like it was under construction. That part of the matrix was under construction. And believe it or not, between Valdosta and Albany and Dawson, let's say Dawson, Georgia, Albany to Valdosta, that's a testing zone. That's a HARP testing zone. Like, they snatch people porches off, they tear down trees, they have mega floods. It's a testing zone. And they never could tell you that a tornado actually came through there. Man, they've been using that as a testing zone since I was a little girl. I remember the first major flood they had, and all the caskets was coming up out the ground. Caskets was floating everywhere. And then one time I had to ride the bus from Florida to there, and everybody's front porch was torn off, and trees were everywhere. And nobody never mentioned a storm or tornado or hurricane coming through there. So it's a weather testing zone. So since I didn't go to Georgia for so long, it seemed like the matrix or that testing zone was under construction. There was a frequency I had to go through. And I mean, it had the car all over the road. Like, when that gust of wind hit, whoo, whoo, and I'd be like, just be patient. Just drive 55 miles per hour and take your time. I was holding the steering wheel with 2 hands. I do not know where this wind was coming from. I do not know where this twilight bubble came from. And by the time I got on Highway 280, about 50 miles from Columbus, Georgia, I popped out the bubble. All that shit from Valdosta to Dawson, Georgia, to what's another one? There's some more cities over there right outside of Columbus. They east of Columbus on 280. All that shit was in a bubble, a testing bubble. So hopefully this can help somebody realize how Agent Smith is working. They are these artificial intelligence, these demons, these these, whatever you want to call it, are able to jump into your aura, jump into your vessel, do as much metal detox as you can do. That's all I can say. But some people are 100% compromised. But I just don't know if they have any recollection of that artificial intelligence using their vessel to spy on somebody else. Yep. They just jump from body to body. No matter who you talk to, they jump from body to body. But right now, it happens the heaviest. It happens the heaviest with white people. But I'm starting to see black people do the wink too. Soon as you walk up to them, they be like, "Hey, how you doing?" And they just wink. Like, why did you wink at me? Like they eye just took a picture of me. Yeah, it jumped from body to body. So I'm going to leave it there.